Hi everyone! We are spending some downtime here in Puerto Escondido, just hanging out. It's a nice change from being on the move almost every day, and we are having a picnic.
In the last video, we paused in the chronicle of our northbound voyage at San Evaristo. After just one night there, we made an early morning dash across the 4-mile channel as the north wind began to crank up. Our destination was Punta Salinas, and if you remember from last year, we opted out of that destination at the last minute to duck into Evaristo because of the sea state. At Punta Salinas, there is no wind abatement, but the anchoring is in sand, has good holding, and there is lots of room. In the evening, as the wind dropped, Lee explored the main attraction, the ruins of a former salt mining operation. I remained back at the boat, nursing a strained shoulder. From the pictures he brought back, I am sorry to have missed these picturesque ruins. The following morning, before the winds began roaring down the channel, we hopped up to Mangle Solo, also on the island of San Jose. Last year, we stayed at Mangle Solo North, but based on the recommendation of our friend Jack, who prefers Mangle Solo South, we tried it. It is indeed much better in regard to shelter from the north winds and better holding in the wide sand shelf. And incidentally, mangle means mangrove. At first glance, it doesn't look like much, just a long beach with a fish camp. But taking anchorage in the corner, La Brisa swayed gently in the calm, while out in the channel, the wind passed us by. Lee explored the Cardon forest and a remarkable winding watercourse populated with palo blanco and convoluted elephant trees. If the sand looks like a herd of goats have been over it, that's because they have. Goats are not native to the island and were introduced. It is for fear of other species becoming feral or bringing microbes that pets are not welcome on any of the islands. Even though a long beach beckoned, Blondie had to forego the joys of running, and it is for this reason that we try to spend most of our time at anchorages on the peninsula. Also worth mentioning, this year, which has been unusually cold, we encountered massive growths of an Alger seaweed that covered normally sandy bottoms. The further north we moved, the more we found. Once the water warms up later in spring, the growth will die off and the water will become crystal clear. In the meantime, we practiced extra care in dropping the hook, trying to drop in weed-free patches, and making sure the anchor was well set. When one of our favorite anchorages, Timbabiche, did not afford enough protection from a southwesterly wind, we moved just a couple of miles north to Los Gatos. In the past, we have passed Los Gatos by, as it is popular and usually crowded. This year, we were in luck. There was room for us. There we bought fish from Rudolfo and a spiny lobster for a feast of ceviche and boiled lobster with melted butter. I was entranced with the colorful markings of the lobster.
Unfortunately, we don't think there's going to be enough shelter from the northeast wind tomorrow, so we're going to have to move on.
We made an early morning move to Bahia San Miguel, tucking up close behind the hook. We stayed here last year, too. After 2 nights in San Miguel, and in light of an even stronger predicted northerly, we again found ourselves moving north all the way to Puerto Escondido. I am not enamored with La Brisa's behavior at anchor in strong winds. She has always sailed at anchor, and I think with the extra windage we added in front this year, with the heavy-duty jib on the roller furler, she behaves even worse than I remembered. I was not comfortable with her wide angle of yaw and slamming up hard against the snubber in strong wind gusts. In high winds, we have been removing both the kayak and dinghy from the foredeck to reduce windage in front. And at Escondido, we jury-rigged a riding sail to add more windage behind the mast. We used an old dinghy sail for our experiment. It did seem to reduce the angle of yaw and make a difference. We have considered a riding sail, but the traditional riding sail makes use of the backstay, which doesn't work for us, as the backstay is also our SSB antenna and the solar panels are in the way. While we were at Escondido, we saw a boat using a Banner Bay Marine fin delta riding sail, which is rigged without a backstay. Practical Sailor gives it a good review, and La Brisa may find herself with the present when we return from our next trip north. I should also mention that we have used our jib more than ever before because of the convenience of the furler. We don't want to give that up. With Blondie's needs for exercise, we find ourselves doing a lot of exploring with the kayak, more than we would do if we didn't have a dog. Within the rocky confines of Puerto Escondido, our explorations have held little surprising discoveries, like a trail to the north over the hill to a road leading to the camping area at Juncalito. Or this beach revealed at low tide where we enjoyed a leisurely picnic and an afternoon spent reading.
And yes, we do feed Blondie table scraps.
With all the extra exercise, Blondie is a happy dog, but has lost some weight. She is even happier with the extra portions. Join us next week as we continue pushing north. So, until then,